997, 998, 999, 1000.
Oh, that burns, we did so many.
Need 1,000 on the other side now. Nah, just be a Popeye, one eye.
Just run around one arm, right? Happy days.
So today we are going to talk about healthy shoulders, how to keep them strong and in good shape.
How to deal with any potential injuries you may or may have, or to prevent them.
Prevent injuries is always good. Prevention is better than cure, as we say, as the doctor says. But if you have had dodgy shoulders in the past or have got them right now, then these will still serve you.
First of all, we're going to look at, well, I guess this works both ways for prevention and curing.
It does, it does.
Stretches.
So, bad shoulders or dodgy shoulders, if any future injuries, will probably come from bad posture and misalignment and certain tight muscles through the shoulders. So what we like to do is we stretch out first. So if I show you kind of bad posture, it's basically here. Okay, so we're rolling forward and the shoulders will just not be secure enough. So your shoulders almost like a ball and socket joint. And then bad posture through driving too much, sit at a desk, slouching on the sofa. What happens is this ball and socket just comes out ever so slightly, and we've got kind of a lot of muscles on one side that are long, and on the other side they're very short.
Can't have my posture all the time out there.
Especially after do 1,000 shoulder presses.
Oh, I know. I have to psych myself with the other arm. Right?
So we're going to do some stretches. First of all, we can't activate if the opposing muscles are so tight that you can't get the right movement.
So, first stretch we're going to go for, nice and easy.
The good morning stretch. Now, there's different ways of doing this. Gently to start with, you can just go from here and pull the arms back as far as you can. Very sure. Move over a little bit there. We can also take this a little bit further if we go to a doorway and we can wedge ourselves in. So let's do that now. Basically what we do is we use the doorway, we'll wedge the arm and the elbow in nicely, and then what you're trying to do is you've got a straight line between the shoulder, other shoulder and the elbow, and then what we'll always try to do is then open up that angle by putting that shoulder back. And as soon as you try this, you'll feel it. You feel the stretch right into that chest. And if you've got a partner who's got some muscle, you can you can beat him up. And of course do both sides.
Okay, so the next stretch we're going to do something very similar to the first one, so Stephen's going to be my model. Stretch the arms. Now this time we're going to rotate the thumbs down and inward and pushing back.
There.
Make sure he's really flexed. And then get revenge. Yeah, so really push thumbs down, stretch away, feel it right across the chest and the shoulders, pulling the shoulders nice and upright.
Okay, so the quick simple difference between that is just the rotation of the shoulder. Here we're stretching the chest, and then there we'll stretch the front of the shoulders. You can also use a doorway for that one too, if you wanted to. Okay, so last but certainly not least, this is one that most people forget about, and that is your lat muscle. Your latissimus dorsi is a huge, especially if you're like this man here, it's a huge muscle in the back. Okay, it comes up as like a big kind of wedge. You ever see these guys that have kind of the wedge shape? That's the muscle that does it.
Tickling me again, really tickling man.
I'm punching you.
I know it was tickling.
So your lat muscle comes up and actually attached to the front of the arm. So when that one's tight, it's going to pull everything around and give you bad posture. Okay, so it is a back muscle, but we need to try and stretch it out up as high as we can. And then you can do each side if you want to. You can just take it a little bit further.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
And then over the other side. So this is a very common problem because in the gym you always say you've got to try and keep the balance of your training program. So people say, yeah, we do a mixture of, if you're doing weight training, it can be legs, it can be back, it can be chest, it can be shoulders.
But every day's chest day, right?
Every day's chest day, of course it is.
And it's never leg day.
When it comes to back day, a lot of people do kind of lat pull downs and everything working the lats, but actually it's still going to lead to bad posture, as does chest and does shoulder work. So what we need to do is, which we'll move on to now, is the activation of the right muscles and not just your lats, because it's going to make it worse.
So activation, we're going to get some exercises here which you can apply a little bit of resistance in. We're going to show you without initially. Let's take us away, Steve, for the first one.
Okay, so the first one, we're looking for external rotation, which is basically the opposite of all the stretches we've just done. So from here, all we're looking to do is activate more of these back muscles in between the shoulder blades and at the back of the shoulders. All we're looking to do is then rotate outwards, keeping those elbows tucked in as close to your side as you can, which when you've got a bit of muscle behind you is actually quite difficult to do, but try nonetheless. And what you're looking to do is try and create a squeeze in between the shoulder blades, and actually you'll flatten the shoulder blades against your rib cage. That's what we're looking to do, so no winged scapula, as they would call it. And then we come back in again, and then we can do a few repetitions of that. Now there's a few ways of adding resistance to this. Into my little trusty black bag here.
Get your wee pouch.
My wee pouch. So these are just kind of physio type bands that they've become very handy. They store in a wee drawer in your house, but definitely worth it. And you can use that to add some resistance to the movement, make it a little bit harder.
The yellow one's got the better up.
The yellow one's the lightest one.
Damn that yellow.
Good. And then what you're looking to do is do this maybe once, possibly twice a day as an ongoing thing. If you've got any injuries, you might want to do a little bit more, depending on what the problem is, of course. But if you do even just a couple of minutes, 30 to 60 seconds even, a couple of times a day, you're really going to start to strengthen up these good posture muscles. Keep the shoulders nice and healthy.
The second activation one, we're going to bring the arm up to a 90-degree angle. Nice and upright. Okay, and then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to do external rotation, pushing all the way back, putting a good squeeze through the deltoid, stretching it back as far as it can go without the elbow moving, and then bring it all the way down. You can either bring it there, sometimes you can even push it all the way down and get a good push down towards the floor. And repeat, push all the way to the top, get a good squeeze, and bring it down. Good. Now if you're on your own, because I've had issues with this one, you can actually hold your own elbow in place, okay, there, or the shoulder, and then just keep the elbow up, taking through. You can do that without a weight initially. Then you can build up to having a small light dumbbell in the hand, or we can make use of our yellow bands. Again, what you would do with this one is you would attach it to something, either a doorway or in this case the window. Let's try that one, sir. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Hey.
Alright, and pull it back, don't let go. Ping in the eye. Again, get a good pull at the top. Look at that gun show. Boop, boop.
You're tickling me.
Yeah. External rotation.
Important. So basically, as you can see, that's actually the same exercise, but working through different angles is really, really important. So on to exercise number 3. This is one of my favourite ones. You call it the Superman shoulder press. So shoulder press is what we like to do, big weights, but just using these big muscles at the front here is not a good idea. We have to use the back muscles. So what we do for this one is we can either lie on your bed, you can lie on the floor if you wanted to, but let's lie on the floor and we'll show you that. Now what we're looking to do here is we're going to try and get these muscles here as fired up as we can. Now we do that by lifting the arms off the floor. That's it, and we're still looking for that external rotation as much as you can, and then we go for the Superman. So we're going for the shoulder press Superman. So push forward, keeping the hands off the floor really, and requiring these muscles in here, and then we come back in again, squeeze in, and then we push out again. Always trying to keep the hands, ideally the hands above the elbows if at all possible, which is really difficult to do. But if you've got that in your head, hands above the shoulders, hands above the shoulders, hands above the shoulders and the elbows, then you're going to be working the right muscles. And I'm going to keep talking until he starts sweating a bit more, because I know how difficult this exercise is. Really, really good. You can see the activation here. There we are. You can relax. 7, 998, 999, 1000. Yes.
1001. I went.
thing is, my OCD would not allow me to do 1001.
Would it not?
Yeah, maybe even numbers.
It's bothering me, I've left it on a 1 actually. I'll fix it later. So there we have it.
So 3 stretches, 3 exercises for good shoulder health. There's numerous other exercises and stretches out there, but we've found that those are the most effective.
Very basic but most effective. And when you make a stretching plan, particularly for the shoulders, it's really important.
Stick to the damn plan.